Rosy Hardy Gardening here. We've got to the time of year when the Up Heucheras are starting to look just a little bit tired. They've done all their overwintering, they've got their brown leaf, and it's time to do something about rejuvenating them and potting them up. So let's get started. So you have a plant like this, you've got all of this old leaf that you don't require, and you basically just need to cut it all off. So you go into this can be done on the plants in the ground, plants in containers, and this is the time of year that you need to be going in and tidying it all up. You don't need any of that old growth there because that is going to die off anyway. So that can all be got rid of and disappear, and then hopefully any bugs that were in there or anything that was overwintering will no longer be in there. You don't need some of these little leaves either, so you're better off taking it right the way back so that you've got a nice clean crown of plant material, and that will then be able to all grow up from the area. So you now got a lovely green plant here, lovely buds all coming up. Now the one thing that you have to look out for with plants that are in containers is the dreaded vine weevil. So if it's a little bit loose, oh dear, I think we may have a problem with this one. So you will see that when I turn it out, that there we are in the container. Oh dear, yes, we have got vine weevil. Now I'm going to pull those out. I think the answer to this one is that really, oh yeah, look, it's just falling apart here as we take it out the plant. So we don't want vine weevil to go back into anywhere, and look what they've done. They have completely chewed off all of the roots. Now the dreaded vine weevil is something that looks like this. It is a creature that is a beetle during its adult stage, but as its young stage, once it's hatched from its eggs, it becomes this C-shaped with a brown head, horrible little bug. Now we have a couple of plants that have been tidied up, ready for potting. So we've taken all of the old leaf off. You've got the lovely crown here. This one had a little bit more root that would come off. It hadn't put on as much root growth, so that one can go into a pot. This one has got beautiful new white roots on it, and also you've got a really good crown here. So you can see we've cut off all the old leaf, so you're left with this crown. But we don't want this solid mat of root on here. So before we actually are going to pot it up, we are going to cut off and do a little bit of what is known as root pruning. So we take a bit off the bottom of the plant, and then we go around the sides and we just take a bit off the sides like so. And this is not going to hurt the plant, but basically when you do a little bit of root pruning in this way, you will find that that then goes into a container quite nicely. It will go back into the container it came out of. Plenty of room for loads and loads of compost to go in there. This one can go back in the same size container as well. So let's just pot these up. So I'm lucky that we have a really nice potting bench here. Bit of compost into the bottom of the pot. Then you take the plant, you put it in, you fill up all the way around the outside so that you have the plant nicely in the middle. Press down gently and then fill up around. Now, as I said, these are actually ones which we're trialing at the moment, so we will end up putting labels in, probably 1 to 5 of the different varieties we've got. Then slightly different with the one that's a little bit bigger. You just need a little bit of compost in the bottom, remembering that you don't want it to be too proud at the top. In it goes, and then you will be able to get compost all the way round the outside of the plant like so, tapping it down tapping around the outside of the pot to try and fill up the spaces at the side there, and then leave it so that it is not potted right the way through to the top, because if you go and put your compost right up to here, the water will just flow over the sides. So leave a little bit like that so that there is a reservoir. You can see with both of these plants there is enough space there for the water to sit and not flow over the sides. Beautiful crown of the plant there in the centre of the pot, and you can see there is just enough space, probably about a centimetre depth there, and then the water will not go over the top of that plant. Those are now ready to be watered, put out. They will go into a cold polythene tunnel where they will get, if we get a little bit of frost now, and that will just help them to grow on and be lovely plants, which we can then have a look at and see whether they are worth us actually growing them to be plants for future. So watch this space. You never know, you may have seen a brand new plant being potted up, and it will take us years to decide whether or not they are good enough. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel.